Hey, Backyard Bee Builder here, and today I'm just doing some spring cleaning, getting ready for that bee season that's getting ready to kick off. And I've got my filthy suit from last season that I still haven't gotten cleaned yet. So I wanted to do a quick tutorial on how I get it cleaned and the best way that I've found to really get it cleaned up and ready for next season. To start off, there's a few different ways people do this, and some people will just pop it in their washing machine. I get a little bit wary about that because I don't want the propolis and the wax on my suit to clog my washing machine. I try to take good care of my things. So that's not a method that I would prefer or recommend. Some people will even do it in their bathtub, but for the same reason, I choose not to do that because I'm afraid of it clogging up my pipes. Even if you get little pieces of propolis that come off of your suit and they end up down your drain, they could coat your pipes. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a big plastic tub that I have, and then that way I can dispose of the water outside. Another big advantage of just washing it by hand in a tub is that you don't really need to remove the screen itself. You can be careful with it as you're washing it, and there shouldn't be any worry about it getting damaged while you are in the process of washing. Okay, as you can see here, I've got 2 honey suits that are in desperate need of a good cleaning. As you can see by this suit, it's got all kinds of stuff on it. It's got everything from dirt and mud to propolis and wax, and even a little bit of blood, sweat, and tears. So we're going to go ahead and try to get it cleaned, and I'm going to show you some things that I found are useful to get some of that stuff out. Okay, so I've got all my stuff set up and ready to go. Here I have just a regular household tote that I filled about half full of water. And also in here I've put some Dawn dish soap, about 2 tablespoons in there. Now that's just going to help cut through the waxy residue that's left on your suits. Now also another thing you can use that I really find helpful is actually to use some washing soda. Now it can also be called soda crystals. So we'll get about ½ cup of this and just put it in here and make sure that it's mixed around really good so that it's distributed through the water. It'll cut through the propolis and stuff on my suit and really help it soak out really well. Now there's some people that will get mildew on their suits or mold, and that's just from wadding them up and it doesn't get enough air, and so it'll grow mold on it. If that's the case, you can use bleach in here. But if you use bleach, don't use a whole ton, but if you do have mildew, that'll help kill the mildew. With that getting started, we'll go ahead and get the solution set together, and then we'll get our suit in there and ready to sew. Okay, now that we have our mixture all cleaned up, you can see it's quite milky. The soda really helps get milky, but that'll help it cut through a lot of the grind. So we're just going to go ahead and put it in here. Now to start off, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that everything gets covered and that it's all really wet. But then I'm going to just agitate it a little bit. It's not going to take a whole lot, but once it's agitated some, it's really helpful to just let it soak for about 20 minutes. And that's really going to help soften up a lot of the stuff on it. So let's go ahead and let it soak, and we'll come back in a minute and see how. Okay, now that it's soaked a little bit, we're going to go ahead and keep agitating it. It's going to help it come out. You can start to see the water is getting really dirty, and you can see that it's starting to work already. But a big thing with this is you're just going to want to try to agitate it. If there's a lot of really bad propolis spots, you're going to just want to rub it to get it clean as much as possible. If you find it helpful to get some of the big propolis off, you can use a scrubby to just kind of scrub at it till it comes off. As you can see here, my water is just super dirty. So there's even chunks of propolis and stuff in there, and that's really not going to be good for your pipe. So that's really why I choose to do it in a tub. Okay, so after you get it all washed up, I'm going to go ahead and I put some fresh water in here. I'm going to go ahead and agitate it through here, make sure that all of the soap gets rinsed off, and that it's already looking a lot cleaner. But you want to make sure you can get as much of the chemicals out of it as you can so that the smells aren't left behind for your bees to get agitated with. So I'll continue to just rinse it out, and then I'll squeeze it out and let it air dry outside. Okay, so I've got it all cleaned up and I've got it laid out to dry. It's looking a lot better. I'm going to go ahead and just lay it over this bench I have to let it air dry, and it'll be ready to go. There are a few stains on there, but it's definitely clean and it's going to be a lot better on the bees to avoid spraying disease. So I'll just let it lay out here and air dry and come back in a few hours and it'll be ready to go. I've got my suits air drying and they are looking a lot better and they're going to be a lot cleaner. So I just wanted to go over a couple things with that. How often should you clean your suit? I would recommend you not wait as long as I did to clean my suit. It definitely needs to be done fairly frequently in order to prevent the spread of disease, especially if you have diseases or you know of diseases that are in your apiary. I would definitely recommend you cleaning your suit. But I would definitely do it a couple times a season. It really depends on how often you're getting out into your hives. If you don't go out very often, you could probably only wash it once a season if you've only got a couple hives. But if you have a few hives, it's probably going to have to be done 2 or 3 times a season, just depending on how dirty it gets. So I hope this was helpful. And this is the Backyard Bee Builder, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.